Okay, time to learn about how to write an argument sentence. So, kia ora everybody. Here is our. Can you change, please? Yeah, there we go. No, there we go. Here is our 11 steps. We are still on step 5, part B. Here's your question if you've forgotten. Here is the essay, first part of it. Here's the second part of it. Here's the introduction. Here's the introduction broken down. Right. We are up to the argument sentence. I'm not going to reread the first 2 sentences, but you should pause that now. If you haven't reread any of the other stuff, please pause now and reread the beginning of the introduction. But we are up to the argument. Jonas becoming receiver of memory is an important moment as it causes Jonas to acknowledge the value of his individuality, learn about the sacrifices of growing up, and gain the perception to question his society's veracity. Let's break that down. This is where you connect to the question which asks about a turning point. That's my turning point. If you don't include that key piece of information in your introduction, you will not get more than an achieved. I guarantee it. So if the question is about a decision a character has made, or the writer's themes that they've included, or something else, or the setting, you must discuss that in your introduction. Those 3 bits that I've highlighted there, those are the arguments that you'll make in your paragraphs. And if you think back to the very thorough plan that you wrote, that is where that plan begins to pay off, because you take the wording from your 3 points in your plan and you stick that straight into your introduction. So there you go. There is like a 1/6 of your introduction and you've already written it. It's also, the opening sentences of each of your paragraphs. So you're doing yourself a huge favour when you write that very thorough plan. Pro tip, veracity. Veracity is kind of like saying truth or honesty or reality. So he's gaining the perception to question the truth and the reality of his society. Is it actually the way that it seems? So I don't like it when students just use Synonym Finder all the time to find fancy words. I do like it when you want to say something very specific, but you're not sure what the word is, so maybe you then use Synonym Finder, and then you actually check in with me and you say, hey, I found this new word. Does it say exactly what I wanted to say, or is there a better word to say it? And you can do that in person, or you could do that by circling the word on your piece of refill and writing a question mark next to it, or you can do it on Google Docs by highlighting the word and putting a comment next to it saying, is this the word that I want? Because that is the way that you will truly expand your vocabulary. If you just replace with Synonym Finder, you aren't learning the word because you haven't looked up the definition, and half the time you're using a word that doesn't quite work anyway. So please, when you want to explore new vocabulary, do it purposefully and thoroughly. Don't just right click and use Synonym Finder. Awesome, so that is our kick-ass argument sentence. So you should now rewatch this if you need to, have a look at the slide if you need to without me droning on, but you should then get rid of it from your eyesight, write your own argument sentence, especially if your question is different from this. You don't want to get confused by what my essay is about, and try to keep that argument sentence to 1 sentence. There is no reason why it should be longer than that. Your reader needs to be able to hold that information in their head, and if it's more than 1 sentence, they're going to get really confused about what your actual essay is about. So 1 sentence for a really solid, clear, specific argument sentence. And then you are ready to move on to your summary.